to start teaching young people who would never play football
Yeah.
the management side of the
of
NFL, so they could go anywhere in the country, and with that
and
resume,
compete.
they
Right.
could get a
And
job.
compete. Hey, this is Ed Brown. What we're going to do, we'll be back in a second here with former Councilman Marvin Wilson, and we're going to complete this, and then we'll be back, right back with you, because we got some other things to talk about. See you in a second. Hi, welcome back to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. My guest is Marvin Wilson, former Councilman Wilson, and he was one of the leaders there as far as the Sports and Learning Center. And he's going to explain some of the things as far as the stadium. This stadium name is something that we need to talk about, and some of the things that in the future. Marvin,
Yes.
welcome back. Now, we were talking off camera about the potential of the stadium, and give us a little history there. A lot of people don't understand the qualification for Olympic size program.
Well, we have a 200-meter indoor track, and we meet the qualifications on
For that, yeah.
A lot of people don't realize we can handle 3 different kinds of events in that field house. We have gymnastics,
Right.
we have swimming, and we also have the 200-meter indoor track. We have an outdoor 400-meter track at the new stadium in my honor. The material on both inside and out is state-of-the-art. We started off, which is in this photo, is a Martin surface. They call it a Martin surface. I was talking to Coach Larry just during the dedication, and they're even going to a different type of material inside the track, and so they're keeping it up to standard so that we can, hopefully, we can even now have national events, just like going back to the Penn Relays when you and I were kids growing up, and we go up to Philadelphia. That's where we really need, that's our goal. That's where we really need to be.
And some of the things that we need to add to the stadium to qualify.
In order to have the national events at the Wilson Stadium, we need to double the seating in the 400 meter.
That means stands on both sides.
We need stands on both sides in equal number. So we've got to raise. Yeah, we're low on the seating capacity for the 400-meter outdoor track and field stadium. Once we do that, we can really reach into national events.
Right.
We've been touching around the border with it already. When we first started out, we had a contract with Nike. And Nike showed us what we could really do. I mean, we were, and see, a lot of people don't realize this council and Wayne Curry as the county exec, we knew all of this was going to happen, and we started building for it. Now, if you bring in people from Stone Mountain, Georgia to run track in Maryland, and they're bringing their families with them and their kids, they got to have somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
They got to have somewhere to eat.
Right.
We've been building that all along. We've been building that. If you go to the latest development right behind St. Joseph's Church.
Right. Hey, tell me about.
There's a there's a state-of-the-art facility to be built there, a hotel to be built there. That's in line with what we always wanted to do. So when people come to Maryland, 2 events at the stadium, then we would have somewhere for them to live and during their stay, and the restaurants would be to their satisfaction as well.
Because restaurants are in that area,
and
so it's hotels in that area.
It's all built around it. It's all coming together.
Yeah.
We've just got to start working the way so that we can use this. This is a Cadillac facility.
Yes.
And we can do things here that you can do at almost any national stadium anywhere in the country.
Right. Well, tell us about the Glen Arden team now. You know, the Glen Arden team, give you a little update. Glen Arden team right today, they're in the Junior Olympics finals in Kansas City, Missouri. They qualified last week.
Has a beautiful ring
to it. At Atlanta, Georgia. And in 2 weeks, they have qualified. This is the quality that a facility like this will continue to produce.
The children, Glen Arden track team, They don't run in school halls anymore. They train at a facility equal to what they're competing at.
Right. And
And it shows. Look
Right.
at the difference. If you look at their record,
Right.
since they've been training at this facility, look at how their record has improved.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of this group of people and all the coaches that go along with it.
Yeah.
These people have stuck together.
And the volunteers.
Oh, yeah,
Now,
volunteers.
I have
And
to,
you know, I supported them
Yeah.
100% the
Right.
whole 8 years that I was at,
Yeah, I know.
at
I know.
the county.
So that's why naming the stadium Marvin Wilson Stadium, I think it's a tribute to you and your office and the years. Now, this wasn't no overnight thing.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
It was something that you had to work. It was a lot of things, a lot of pieces had to go together.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, see, and this is what people don't understand, is that they have a #1 facility
They do.
in the country,
Right here in Maryland.
right here in Maryland.
George's County.
And what I've seen on the level, I haven't seen any stadium compared to in the world that's for local people.
Yes.
Now, see, this is the key. This is for an average person. This is not a big stadium for the pros.
No,
this
it
is
isn't.
for the community,
That's,
and it adds education to it.
It does.
That education element is the most important element that they have there. Very few, if any, facility like this have an education branch like.
and you know when we started out, that $1.5 million that Mr. Cook gave to Prince George's County for the kids who live within the impact area for scholarships.
Right.
And what was done with that was to put it in an interest-bearing account. Don't touch the principal at the end of the year, but at the end of the year you draw off the interest and you give that out in scholarship. The second time we did it, first time we did it inside the Redskins Stadium.
Is that
The
right?
second time we did it, and I have a picture I'll show you later, right here.
Uh-huh.
That is the second time we did it. It was under the direction of Hilda Pemberton.
No.
And we $50,000 to 100 students. Now what happened was we decided that, Hilda Pemberton and her group
Yeah.
decided that we're not just going to give scholarships to the high school students. We're going to start at elementary, middle, and then high because we wanted them to start early as an incentive for scholarships and to do better. This was just an incentive program.
And this
and it worked.
and look, Marvin, a lot of people don't realize
Yes.
this was happening.
Yes.
And the idea, what was brought here, was educating and giving scholarship.
Yes.
I would say 90% of the people didn't know that a scholarship fund
Yes.
was being
Well, we still
set
got
up.
to check on this now yet.
Yeah.
While Hilda Pemberton was running this program, it worked perfect. I can't tell you what happened to it, but we need to take a look at it.
Well, that's one of the factors there. We need to take a look at that, and we need to take a look at getting those
Seating.
getting that seating capacity,
Yes.
and the way it was laid out. I was looking at it a few days. There I went over there, and that other side there, it can be done.
It can be done.
Yeah.
At first I thought about it. I said, it's going to be over the stormwater management,
Right.
but it's not.
Right.
Because the outdoor border track that you can walk, just
Yes.
a walking track.
Right.
There's plenty of room where you can actually, but it would be on a hill and they would have to build,
Yeah.
a support system.
Right.
But it can be done.
Yes.
It can be done.
And so, actually, this is really marvelous.
Yes.
Bringing the effort that you have made here is just, and your staff and everything for Prince George's County. To me, this is #1 because Marvin, this is something that everybody can use. The seniors can use.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It has something.
Have you
and
been up there during the middle of the
intellect.
week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. The facility, and it's a shame, but some Prince Georges have never been there.
Yeah, I know.
I've had people from Philadelphia, New York,
I know.
Kentucky, everywhere.
The thought was-
the first place, and that's what you need to do. If you haven't been up there, you need to take a holiday and take your family up there
You do.
and see this magnificent
Yes.
facility,
Yes.
stadium, and that they have here
Yes.
for the people of
Yes.
Prince George County.
I'd like to thank Andrea Harrison too, because without her thoughtful recommendation, you know, my name may not have been on this stadium. She submitted this to the committee.
Is that right?
Yes, and they voted unanimous for my name to be considered for this particular stadium. So I have to thank her office and the work that she's done to make
Well,
this
actually,
really
Marvin,
happen.
you deserve it, because I personally know what you went through. I was in some of those meetings. I did some of that knocking and reception that you got from people. They didn't realize. I couldn't believe that there was some negative
Well, they
thoughts
just didn't know.
about it.
We said this at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
You know, some people have been lied to so much in their life
Yeah.
that when you tell them the truth, you say something that sounds too good to be true, they just don't believe it. And, you know, they look at you and they figure that here's another politician
Yeah.
that's
right.
really trying to convince me to accept all this traffic in front of my house,
Right.
on my property, preventing me from going to the store where I didn't. We don't need all of this, but they didn't realize the benefits that came along
Right.
with it.
They even offered to renovate the front of the homes.
I had a,
You
I had a grant.
Had a grant.
Yeah.
You got a grant for renovating.
I had a grant.
Tell
And
us
what
about
we were
that.
trying to do, and we met in Palmer at the rec center in Palmer Park. And Gene was with me, and then the staff from Park and Planning, because we had to get the written permission to go on their property.
Right.
And what we wanted to do was to take down all of the fences. If you stood at the end of the block, you would see a wooden fence, a chain link fence,
Right.
all kind of makeshift
Make it
fence.
uniform.
And what we wanted to do, because we were expecting company from all over the world, really,
right.
coming there at Harvey Drive to go up to the Sports and Learning Center, we wanted the homes along that street to be complemented by what we were doing across the street. So I had a grant where we were going to take down all of the fences. We were going to landscape each lot, each lot. We were going to put a 2-pad parking space on each piece of property.
No kidding.
We were going to landscape.
I didn't know about that
Oh
myself.
yeah. If you go over there right now, you'll see the sidewalks are all brick.
Yes.
And they have the Georgetown street lights. They're there now.
Now.
But we were going to add to taking down the fences and have just green lawns all the way down the street. So company coming to our house, it would look good for the people who live there, not suffering because of what we were doing across the street. But here again, they didn't trust what we were telling them.
Right.
And of course, I won't go into the event that happened, but my sidekick, I looked behind me, he was gone. Park and Planning guys split. I'm there, some guy wait, and I'm not a little man, you know. And this guy picked me up literally off the floor.
No kidding.
Yeah, he said, I'm tired of you telling us how to live. You know, I'm tired of you bringing the Redskins here we didn't want. Now you want to take down my fence. You want to do this, that, and the other.
Yes.
And so I said, well, you know.
That's the negative
Yeah.
aspect.
Well, they didn't. Nobody knew. But now, you know, soon after that, they called my office and said, is the offer still good? I said, well,
it's too late
you know,
now.
you ran me out of town. You ran me out of
Right,
Dodge.
right.
And so that money went to another district.
I tell you, Marvin, it's really a pleasure to have you on the show. And as a small item, all the work that you and your staff did to bring this
Your son was
facility
part
here.
of my staff.
See, I'm just saying that you initiated it. You got people, and you took a lot. And this tribute to you, naming the stadium, is well deserved.
Thank you.
And we want to thank you for all the time. I know your family suffered too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? The nights of meetings and all of that kind of stuff. But once again, we in Prince George County want to congratulate you for all the efforts that you have done as far as the Sports and Learning Center and now the Marvin Wilson Stadium.